Jenna Hager has long been admired for her warmth, honesty, and ability to connect with people in a deeply personal way. Over the years, audiences have watched her grow not only as a television personality but also as a wife, mother, friend, and storyteller. Recently, emotions surrounding her life have touched viewers in a much deeper way. The reason is not controversy or scandal, but something far more human. Her journey alongside a close friend facing heartbreaking loss, combined with the emotional reality of watching her own children grow older, has created moments that feel raw, sincere, and unforgettable. The conversations shared between Jenna and those closest to her have reminded many people about the fragile balance between happiness and grief, strength and vulnerability, and the beauty of standing beside the people we love during difficult times. A woman who feels familiar to millions, Jenna Hager has built a reputation as someone who brings authenticity wherever she goes. Despite growing up in one of the most recognized families in America, she has always carried herself with a down-to-earth personality that makes people feel comfortable. Audiences have connected with her because she openly shares the joyful and complicated parts of life, instead of pretending everything is perfect. Whether she is discussing motherhood, marriage, friendships, or personal memories, Jenna speaks with honesty that feels natural rather than rehearsed. That openness has allowed viewers to see her not simply as a public figure but as someone navigating the same emotions and experiences many families understand. Her warmth, humor, and willingness to laugh at herself have become a major reason why audiences continue to follow her journey so closely. Recently, however, her emotional presence has taken on a deeper meaning. People are not simply tuning in for entertainment anymore. They are watching someone process life in real time while supporting others through heartbreaking challenges. That emotional transparency has created a connection that feels stronger than ever before. The heartbreaking loss that changed everything. One of the most emotional moments surrounding Jenna's world came after the devastating loss experienced by her close friend and colleague, Chanel Jones. Chanel's husband passed away following a difficult illness, leaving behind a grieving family and 3 children. The news deeply affected everyone around them, especially those who worked closely with the couple and witnessed their love firsthand. The sadness surrounding this loss reached audiences because it felt painfully real. There was no dramatic performance or polished television moment. Instead, viewers saw genuine grief, compassion, and support from friends trying to hold one another together during an unimaginably difficult time. For Jenna, the loss was especially personal. She spoke openly about the strength and grace Chanel showed throughout the hardest moments of her life. Rather than turning away from pain, Jenna leaned into friendship and emotional support. Viewers could feel how much she cared, and that sincerity resonated deeply. A friendship strengthened through pain. Sometimes the strongest friendships are formed not during celebrations, but during moments of sorrow and uncertainty. Jenna and Chanel's bond became noticeably deeper after the painful events surrounding Chanel's family. Their connection evolved into something that viewers could immediately recognize as genuine and unshakable. What made their friendship so meaningful was the way they supported one another without trying to hide difficult emotions. Jenna created space for Chanel to speak honestly about grief, healing, motherhood, and resilience. Instead of rushing past sadness, the 2 women allowed themselves to acknowledge it openly, while still finding moments of joy and laughter together. That balance is what touched so many viewers. Audiences witnessed a friendship built on empathy, rather than performance. Their conversations felt honest because they reflected the emotional complexity real people experience every day. Life does not pause after loss, and happiness does not disappear completely during grief. Jenna and Chanel showed that both emotions can exist side by side, learning to carry grief and joy together. One of the most powerful themes emerging from these emotional moments has been the idea that grief and happiness can exist at the same time. Chanel spoke openly about how losing someone deeply changes a person forever, but she also described continuing to search for joy despite carrying sadness every day. Jenna's role during these conversations was especially meaningful because she listened with compassion instead of trying to offer simple solutions. Sometimes, the most comforting thing one person can do for another is simply allow them to speak honestly. That emotional openness created conversations that resonated far beyond television screens. Many viewers were moved by Chanel's reflections on discovering her own strength after tragedy. She described learning that resilience does not mean avoiding pain. Instead, it means continuing forward while carrying difficult emotions with courage and grace. The emotional reality of watching children grow up. Alongside the heavier emotional moments surrounding friendship and loss, Jenna also shared another deeply relatable experience, watching her oldest daughter become a teenager. For many parents, this stage of life brings complicated feelings that are difficult to describe. There is pride, excitement, nostalgia, and sadness all mixed together at once. Jenna reflected on how quickly time passes and how emotional it feels to realize that childhood moves forward, whether parents are ready or not. She shared memories from her daughter's birth and spoke honestly about the bittersweet reality of watching children become more independent. What made these reflections resonate so strongly was how universal they felt. Nearly every parent understands the ache of realizing that the little moments do not last forever. Children slowly begin building lives, memories, and experiences outside their parents' world, and while that independence is healthy and beautiful, it can still feel emotional. Why audiences feel so connected to Jenna. The emotional response surrounding Jenna's recent moments comes from something deeper than celebrity admiration. People feel connected to her because she allows herself to appear human rather than untouchable. She shares imperfections, emotional struggles, family memories, and moments of uncertainty in ways that feel sincere. Audiences often gravitate toward people who remind them of themselves, and Jenna's openness creates exactly that feeling. Whether discussing motherhood, friendship, grief, or change, she speaks with honesty that feels comforting and familiar. Another reason viewers remain invested is because her relationships appear authentic. The support she shows toward friends and family feels genuine instead of performative. That authenticity creates emotional trust between her and her audience, finding strength through honest conversations. One of the most meaningful aspects of these recent moments has been the power of honest conversation. Jenna and Chanel created discussions that went beyond surface-level dialogue and touched on emotions many people struggle to express aloud. The conversations explored themes of identity, resilience, motherhood, loss, and emotional survival. Instead of offering unrealistic positivity, they acknowledged pain while still leaving room for hope. That balance is what made their discussions feel authentic and deeply impactful. Many viewers appreciated hearing conversations that reflected real emotional experiences instead of perfectly polished stories. The honesty shared between the two women encouraged audiences to think about their own lives, relationships, and personal struggles in a more compassionate way. A future built on resilience and connection. Looking ahead, it is clear that Jenna's journey will continue evolving in meaningful ways. Her ability to balance emotional honesty with warmth and humor has created a lasting connection with audiences who appreciate authenticity over perfection. Her friendship with Chanel has become a symbol of resilience, compassion, and unwavering support during life's most difficult moments. Together, they have shown viewers that people can carry grief while still embracing laughter, friendship, and hope. Jenna's personal reflections about motherhood and family have also added another layer of emotional depth to her public presence. As her children grow older and life continues changing around her, audiences are likely to remain invested because her experiences feel relatable and genuine. What makes this story especially powerful is that it does not rely on dramatic headlines or sensational moments. Instead, it centers on ordinary human emotions experienced in extraordinary visibility. Love, loss, friendship, growth, and time are things everyone understands in some way.